Commander Do-hyun Kim stood on the bridge of the Explorer Earth's most advanced research vessel. The year was 2157, and humanity had spread across the solar system. Mars had cities now. The moons of Jupiter and Saturn had mining stations. Humans were moving forward fast. "Commander, there's something strange on our sensors," said Officer Han, looking worried. Do-hyun walked to the screen. "What is it?" "It's big, very big, and it's moving toward us." The object appeared on the main screen. It was not an asteroid or comet. It was a ship bigger than anything humans had ever built. "All stations alert," Do-hyun said calmly. "But no weapons. We don't want to seem threatening." The giant ship came closer. It was smooth and silver, with strange blue lights that seemed to flow like water across its surface. "They're sending a signal," Han said. A face appeared on the screen. It wasn't human. It had purple skin and 4 eyes, placed in a diamond pattern. "Greetings, humans," the alien said in perfect English. "I am Ambassador Korin of the Galactic Council. We have been watching your species for some time." Do-hyun took a deep breath. "I am Commander Do-hyun Kim of Earth. We welcome peaceful contact." "We wish to meet with your leaders," Korin said. "The Galactic Council governs this sector of the galaxy. All spacefaring species must register with us." 3 days later, Earth was buzzing with excitement. Aliens were real, and they wanted to talk. Jisoo Park adjusted her formal suit as she waited. As Earth's top diplomat, she had been chosen to meet the aliens first. "They're landing," said her assistant. The alien ship descended slowly onto the landing pad in New Geneva. It was smaller than the one Do-hyun had seen, but still impressive. Ambassador Korin stepped out, followed by 6 other aliens of different species. They walked with smooth, confident steps. "Welcome to Earth," Jisoo said with a small bow. "Thank you for your welcome," Korin replied. "The Council has been monitoring your progress. You have advanced quickly for such a young species." Over the next week, Jisoo learned about the Galactic Council. It included over 50 alien species and governed most of the galaxy. They had rules for everything: trade, technology, expansion. "We would like to offer Earth probationary membership," Korin announced at the final meeting. "What does that mean?" asked the Earth president. "You will gain access to some Council technology and trade networks," Korin explained. "But there are limits. No expansion beyond your current colonies until your probation ends. No weapons development above level 3. No faster-than-light travel research." Jisoo frowned. "How long is the probation?" "Standard is 50 years, Korin said. "Some species take longer. It depends on how well you follow our guidelines." Do-hyun, who was now part of the Earth team, whispered to Jisoo, "I don't like this. They smile, but they're putting us in a box." Jisoo nodded slightly. "Ambassador Korin, we appreciate the offer, but these seem like heavy restrictions." Korin's 4 eyes blinked slowly. All new members faced the same process. It's for galactic stability. Young species often don't understand the dangers of unchecked growth. "We need to discuss this," the president said. Later, in a private room, Earth's leaders debated. "We can't say no," the science minister argued. "Think of what we could learn." "But these limits will hold us back," Do-hyun countered. Jisoo thought carefully. "I think we accept, for now. We learn what we can. We play by their rules until we understand the game better." The president nodded. "Agreed." The next day, Earth accepted probationary membership in the Galactic Council. People celebrated worldwide. A new age had begun. But in his quarters, Do-hyun looked at the stars through his window and wondered if humanity had just met friends, or something else. 5 years had passed since Earth joined the Galactic Council. Things had changed a lot. Humans had met 12 alien species. They had learned new science. They had built better ships. But not everyone was happy. Admiral Do-hyun Kim walked through the halls of Earth Defense Command. He had been promoted after first contact. Now he led Earth's space fleet. "Admiral, Ambassador Park is calling from Nexus," said his assistant. Do-hyun nodded and went to his office. The screen lit up, showing Jisoo's face. She looked tired. "Do-hyun, we have a problem," she said. "The council denied our request again." "Which one this time?" he asked, though he could guess. "The colony on Titan. They say it's too close to the gas harvesting routes of the Mechanar." Do-hyun hit his desk with his fist. "That's the third expansion request they've denied this year. And the Mechanar don't even use that route." Jisoo nodded. "I know. When I argued, Council Speaker Thrix told me humans are too young and potentially volatile. They treat us like children, while they take everything they want from our system." Do-hyun added. "The mining rights they've claimed on our asteroids. The cultural exchange that only flows one way." Jisoo looked around carefully, then lowered her voice. "There's more. The trade deal with the Vorax was blocked. No reason given. And 3 of our scientists were denied access to the council library, sections that were open to us last year." Do-hyun leaned closer to the screen. "It's been the same pattern for 5 years. Jisoo, small limits, polite refusals, always with a smile and an excuse." "I'm doing what I can from here," Jisoo said. "But my diplomatic status only gets me so far." After the call ended, Do-hyun stared out his window at the Earth below. Beautiful and blue, worth protecting. His comm beeped. "Admiral, Dr. Lee is here." Do-hyun straightened his uniform. "Send him in." Dr. Tadawon Lee entered, carrying a secure data pad. He was Earth's top physicist and had been studying council technology since first contact. "Admiral, I need to show you something," Taiwan said, his voice low and excited. He placed the pad on the desk. It showed engine designs. "What am I looking at, Doctor?" "A breakthrough. We figured out how to improve our drive systems beyond council restrictions." Do-hyun raised his eyebrows. "That's against our agreement." "Yes," Tadwan nodded. "But we didn't use their technology. We found our own path. The council can't claim we stole anything. They'll still say it violates our probation." Taiwan's eyes were bright. "They won't know if we're careful. This could give Earth ships twice the range and speed, maybe more." Do-hyun studied the designs. "Where are you testing this?" "Underground facility in Antarctica. Very private." Do-hyun thought for a long moment. "Keep working. Tell no one. Report only to me." Later that night, Do-hyun called Jisoo on a secure line. "We need to be prepared," he told her. "I don't trust the council's peaceful talk." Jisoo sighed. "I'm starting to agree. Yesterday I overheard 2 council members. They were discussing humans. One called us a potential problem." "A problem," Do-hyun repeated. "For who?" "For the established order. For their control." Jisoo looked worried. "Do-hyun, I think they never meant for us to advance. I think probation is just a nice word for containment. Then we need to be ready when they decide to stop being nice." Do-hyun said. "Keep your eyes open at Nexus. Learn everything you can." "And you?" Jisoo asked. Do-hyun smiled grimly. "I'll make sure Earth isn't defenseless when the mask finally drops." As they ended the call, neither knew how soon that day would come. The alarm woke Admiral Do-hyun. At 3 a.m., he grabbed his comm unit. "What's happening?" he asked. "Sir, it's Europa colony. We've lost all contact." Do-hyun felt his stomach drop. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, held a research station with 500 people. "Get my ship ready. I'm going there myself." 6 hours later, Do-hyun's ship approached Europa. What he saw made his blood run cold. Where the colony had been, there was now only broken ice and twisted metal. "Life signs?" he asked. "None, sir," his officer replied. "Everyone is gone." Do-hyun ordered his team to search for survivors, but they found no one. They did find something else, though. "Sir, look at these marks," said his chief engineer, pointing to a piece of metal. This wasn't an accident. "These are weapon burns." "What kind of weapons?" Do-hyun asked. "Not ours. The pattern matches Council ship weapons." Do-hyun's comm unit beeped. It was Ji-soo calling from Nexus. "Do-hyun, I heard about Europa. The Council is saying it was a tech failure." "It wasn't," Do-hyun said grimly. "Ji-soo, we found Council weapon signatures." Ji-soo's face went pale. "Are you sure?" "Completely. They're lying to us." "I need to look into this," Ji-soo said. "Be careful what you say publicly. I'll contact you soon." For 3 days, Ji-soo used her ambassador status to move through the Council headquarters. On the 3rd night, she found what she was looking for. The central database room was empty. Using a device Ta-1 had made for her, Ji-soo bypassed the security and accessed the files. What she found made her heart race. There were secret reports about humanity, plans to limit Earth's growth, orders to monitor all human ships, and worst of all, a file marked Europa Containment Action. Ji-soo copied everything and slipped out. Back in her quarters, she sent the files to Do-hyun through their secure channel. "This proves it," Do-hyun said when they spoke. "They destroyed our colony on purpose." Ji-soo nodded. "The file says they found advanced research there. Something about new drive technology." "Ta-1 had a team on Europa," Do-hyun said quietly. "They must have found out." "There's more," Ji-soo continued. "I found a report called Species Management." "Do-hyun, this has happened before. The Council has been holding back other species for centuries. Any race that grows too fast gets contained. We need to warn Earth. We need to." The door to Ji-soo's room burst open. Council security officers rushed in. "Ambassador Park, you are accused of data theft and espionage," the lead officer stated. Ji-soo kept her face calm even as her heart pounded. "I am an official representative of Earth. You have no right to arrest me." "This isn't an arrest. This is an interview." On Earth, Do-hyun watched his screen go dark. Ji-soo. Ji-soo. He immediately called an emergency meeting with Earth's leaders. "The Council destroy our Europa colony," he told them. Ambassador Park found proof before they took her. "This is an act of war," the president said. "Sir, we need to be careful," the defense minister warned. "Their technology is far beyond ours." "Not anymore," said a voice from the door. Dr. Ta-1 Lee walked in, his lab coat dirty, his face bruised. "Doctor, what happened to you?" Do-hyun asked. "Council agents attacked my lab. They killed 3 of my team." Ta-1 placed a data drive on the table. "But they didn't get this." "What is it?" the president asked. "Everything. All our research. The new drive system. Weapons. Shields. We've made more progress than they know." Do-hyun looked at the president. "Sir, they've crossed a line. They killed our people. They took our ambassador. We can't let this stand." The president stood up. "We won't. Admiral Kim, as of now, Earth is at high alert. Dr. Lee, continue your work at our secure facility on Titan." "And Ambassador Park?" Do-hyun asked. "We'll get her back," the president promised. "And then we'll show the Galactic Council that humanity is done being pushed around." 2 weeks after the Europa attack, the leaders of Earth met in a hidden bunker deep under the Rocky Mountains. The room was simple but secure. No signals could get in or out. "The Council has placed peacekeeping ships in orbit around Earth," Admiral Do-hyun reported. "They say it's for our protection." "Protection?" The European president scoffed. "They're here to watch us, to control us." "What about Ambassador Park?" asked the African Union leader. "Still held at Nexus," Do-hyun said. "They claim she's being questioned about security breaches." The room grew quiet. Then the world president stood up. "Today, we form the Terran Alliance. she declared. All nations, all colonies, united against this threat. Everyone nodded in agreement. Admiral Kim will lead our military response, she continued. And we need someone to handle our covert operations. A woman stepped forward from the shadows. She was small but moved like a cat. This is Soo-Jin Kang, Do-hyun introduced her, our best intelligence officer. Soo-Jin bowed slightly. I've already built a network across Council space. We have friends, other species who are tired of Council control. Good, the president said. We'll need allies. 3 days later, Do-hyun visited the secret base on Titan, Saturn's largest moon. The base was built inside a mountain, hidden from Council sensors. Dr. Ta-won met him at the landing pad. Admiral, come see what we've built. They entered a massive underground hangar. Inside were ships unlike any Do-hyun had seen before. We converted cargo vessels, Ta-won explained. Added the new drives, new weapons, and the best part, he smiled proudly. Stealth systems. They can't detect these. Do-hyun asked. Not with their current technology. We studied their sensors and found a gap in their detection abilities. Do-hyun walked around one of the ships. It was ugly, with boxy shapes and strange angles. But if it worked, how many do we have? 15 now. More coming. We're building as fast as we can. Do-hyun nodded. Good. We'll need them soon. On Nexus, Ji-soo sat in her cell. She had been there for 2 weeks. They asked her the same questions every day. She told them nothing. The door opened. A green-skinned alien entered. Ambassador Park. I am Trell. I represent the Varine. We are not happy with the Council. Ji-soo stayed silent, suspicious. I have a message from your Admiral Kim, Trell continued. The Terran Alliance is formed. Your people prepare. They ask, can you hold on? Ji-soo finally spoke. Tell them yes, and tell them I've learned more. The Council fears us because we're different. We solve problems in ways they never considered. They've been in power so long, they've stopped growing. Trell nodded. Many species feel as you do. The Varine, the Kintari, the Biloth. We watch humanity with interest. Are you offering help? Ji-soo asked. Not yet, but when you move, others may follow. Back on Titan, Do-hyun received this message. He immediately called Soo-Jin. We need to expand your network, he told her. Focus on these species, Varine, Kintari, Biloth. Already on it, Soo-Jin replied. I've made contact with rebels from 6 species. They're small groups, but growing. What about our other project? The Council Communications Hub. We're in. They don't know it yet, but we can see their orders, their fleet movements. Everything. Do-hyun smiled for the first time in weeks. Good. Keep watching. When the time comes, we'll need to move fast. That evening, Do-hyun looked at the stars from the Titan base window. Somewhere out there, the Council thought they had humanity under control. They were wrong. The resistance wasn't just forming. It was ready to fight back. Soo-Jin Kang moved silently through the shadows of the Council archives on Nexus. Her small size and quick movements made her perfect for this mission. After 3 months of planning, she was finally inside the most secure area. I'm in, she whispered into her hidden comm unit. Good, Do-hyun's voice replied from the Titan base. Find Section 12B. That's where they keep the species records. Soo-Jin found the right data terminal and plugged in a small device Ta-won had made. It copied files faster than any Council technology could detect. Admiral, I'm seeing something strange, she said as she watched the files scroll by. There are records of species I've never heard of. Dozens of them. What happened to them? Do-hyun asked. Soo-Jin's eyes widened as she read. They're gone. All of them. The Council eliminated them. Why? Same reason every time. Exceeded growth parameters. Showed aggressive expansion. developed unauthorized technology. Su Jin's voice shook. Admiral, this is a pattern. Any species that grows too fast or doesn't follow council rules gets wiped out. Copy everything and get out, Du Hyun ordered. Back on Earth, Dr. Min Ho Yoon, the top archaeologist, was studying artifacts from Mars. He had found something strange, ruins that weren't human. They were old, very old. His comm unit beeped. It was Du Hyun. Dr. Yoon, have you found anything unusual in those ruins? Du Hyun asked. Min Ho looked surprised. Yes. How did you know? I found writings. They match nothing in our records, and the dating shows they're over 50,000 years old. Check if they match these, Du Hyun said, sending a file. Su Jin found records of a species called the Zanari. The council wiped them out. Their last colony was on Mars. Min Ho compared the writings. It's a match. Admiral, this proves the council has been to our system before. They destroyed the Zanari and then waited for the next species to rise. Us, Du Hyun said grimly. On Titan, Taiwan was finishing the most important project of his life. The Phantom drive was ready. Test run complete, his assistant reported. The drive works. Council sensors didn't detect anything. Taiwan smiled proudly. Load it into the fleet. Every ship gets one. When Du Hyun arrived later that day, Taiwan showed him the new drive. This changes everything, the scientist explained. We can move without them seeing us. Attack without warning. Disappear before they can respond. How soon can the fleet be ready? Du Hyun asked. 2 weeks, maybe less. On Nexus, Ji-Soo had been moved from her cell to house arrest. The council thought this was more humane. Really, it made it easier for Su Jin to visit her. Ambassador, good news, Su Jin whispered during a secret meeting. We know their plan. We have proof of previous genocides, and we have the technology to fight back. Ji-Soo nodded. The council is nervous. I can tell. They're arguing among themselves about what to do with humanity. What are our chances of getting more allies? Su Jin asked. Better every day. 5 species have secretly reached out to me. They're watching to see what humans do next. Su Jin handed Ji-Soo a small device. This will let you contact us directly. When the time comes, we'll get you out. Back on Earth, Du Hyun met with the world president. Madam President, we found their ultimate plan. Humanity was never meant to advance. They let us join the council to control us. Any species that grows too powerful gets eliminated. The president's face hardened. Then we need to make one final diplomatic attempt. Show them our evidence. Demand our rights. If they refuse, we're ready, Du Hyun confirmed. The fleet is almost ready. Su Jin's network is in place. Tell Ji-Soo to make the presentation, the president ordered. Show the council we know what they've done. Give them one last chance to change. Du Hyun nodded. And if they don't take it? The president's eyes were cold. Then humanity is done talking. The Grand Council chamber on Nexus was huge. 500 representatives from different worlds sat in rising circles. At the center stood Ji-Soo Park, finally allowed to speak after weeks of being held. Honored Council, she began, her voice strong despite her ordeal. I come with evidence of great concern. The head of the council, High Speaker Thrix, looked down at her with all 4 of his eyes. Speak then, human. But remember your place. Ji-Soo activated the display screen. Images of destroyed worlds appeared. Records of vanished species. Proof of the council's lies. These are your own records, Ji-Soo said. They show how the council has eliminated any species that grew too powerful, any race that might challenge your control. Whispers spread through the chamber. Many representatives looked shocked. Others seemed afraid. The 3 most powerful species, the Mechanar, the Vorax, and the Zentari, showed no reaction at all. These records were classified. Thrix said coldly. Accessing them was a crime. Murder is also a crime, Jisoo replied. The destruction of our Europa colony was an act of war. Thrix stood taller. It was a necessary security action. Your people were developing forbidden technology. We never agreed to be controlled, Jisoo said. Earth demands full membership rights, freedom to develop without limits, and justice for the attack on Europa. The chamber erupted in noise. When it quieted, Thrix spoke again. The council has decided. Earth is too volatile, too dangerous. For the safety of all, humans must be contained. He paused. All human colonies will be placed under direct council control. All ships will be grounded. All technology above level 2 will be confiscated. Jisoo's heart raced, but she kept her face calm. And if we refuse, then the council will ensure compliance. Thrix's voice was like ice. You have 1 Earth week to surrender all military assets. At that moment, alarms blared through the council chamber. What is happening? Thrix demanded. A Vorax officer rushed in. High speaker. The research facility on Titan has been attacked. On Titan, chaos reigned. Council forces had struck without warning. The base where Ta-1 worked was in flames. Get to the ships, Ta-1 shouted to his team. Save the research. His assistant looked terrified. There are too many of them. I'll hold them off, Ta-1 said, grabbing a weapon. Get everyone out. The data must reach Earth. As his team ran for the escape ships, Ta-1 set explosives throughout the lab. He would not let their work fall into council hands. The council forces broke through the main door. Tai-1 looked at the detonator in his hand. For Earth, he whispered and pressed the button. The explosion rocked the entire moon. Back on Earth, Do-hyun received the terrible news. Titan base destroyed. Dr. Lee is gone. The officer's voice shook. But sir, his team escaped with the research. They're heading home now. Before Do-hyun could respond, another alert sounded. Admiral, Mars colony is under attack. Council ships are dropping asteroids on the main dome. Do-hyun watched in horror as the feed showed Mars colony, home to over 10,000 people, being bombarded. The protective dome cracked, then shattered. Casualties? He asked, his voice tight. Estimates are 3,000 dead already, sir. The rest are trying to reach the emergency shelters. Do-hyun closed his eyes for a moment. Then he turned to his officers. Send the order. All Phantom ships deploy. Activate Operation Breakout. On Nexus, Jisoo was being led back to her quarters when Soo-jin appeared beside her, disguised as a council guard. It started, Soo-jin whispered. Mars was hit. Tai-1 is gone. Do-hyun has launched the fleet. Jisoo nodded slightly. Get me out of here. It's time for my part. As they slipped away, on Earth, the world president stood before the global broadcast system. Citizens of Earth and all human colonies, she said, her face grim but determined. Today, the Galactic Council has attacked our people without provocation. They have shown their true intentions. She took a deep breath. As of this moment, Earth formally rejects the authority of the Galactic Council. We will defend ourselves. We will fight for our right to exist. Humanity, she declared, is done talking. The Council Fleet Commander stood on his bridge, looking at Earth on his view screen. These humans are contained, he told his officers. Their ships are primitive. Their weapons are weak. This will be over quickly. Suddenly, alarms blared across his ship. Commander, our supply base on Proxima 3 is under attack. Impossible, the commander said. No human ships could reach there without us seeing them. Another alarm sounded. Sir, the weapons facility on Rigel 6 reports explosions. Before he could respond, more alerts came in. Council headquarters on Deneb 2. Communications hub on Sirius 5. Mining operation on Ta City. The commander's 4 eyes blinked rapidly, all under attack. At the same time. How? Admiral Du Hyun sat in his command chair aboard the flagship Defiance *. Around him, officers monitored the progress of 20 stealth ships attacking key Council targets. "Status report," he ordered. "All targets hit, sir," his second-in-command reported. "The Phantom drives worked perfectly. The Council didn't see us coming. Casualties? Minimal. We focused on infrastructure, not people, just like you ordered." Do Hyun nodded. "We're not like them. We don't kill civilians." Another officer turned from her station. "Sir, we're getting signals from 6 different species. They're rising up against Council control. The Varine have taken 3 planets already. And Sujin's network, broadcasting the truth to every world in Council space. The evidence Jisoo found is being seen everywhere." Do Hyun allowed himself a small smile. Phase 1 complete. Begin Phase 2. On Nexus, chaos reigned. The Council's carefully controlled system was breaking down. Jisoo and Sujin moved through the confusion, heading for the main communications center. "Are you sure this will work?" Sujin asked. Jisoo nodded. "The Council rules through information control. We need to break that control." They reached the center and found it nearly empty. Most workers had fled when the attacks began. Jisoo sat at the main console. "Give me the data chip," she told Sujin. Jisoo inserted the chip and began typing. Soon, the Council's emergency broadcast system was under her control. "This is Ambassador Jisoo Park of Earth," she began, her face appearing on screens across thousands of worlds. "The Galactic Council has lied to you. They have eliminated species that grew too powerful. They have kept technology from developing worlds. They rule through fear and control." She showed images from the Council's own files, evidence of their crimes. "Humanity refuses to be controlled. We fight not just for ourselves, but for all species who want to grow without limits. Join us. Together, we can build a better galaxy." Back in Earth's solar system, Council ships attempted to attack human colonies on Mars and Venus. They found something unexpected: powerful defense systems that Ta-1 had designed before his death. "Their weapons can't get through our shields," a Mars defense officer reported to Du Hyun. "Good," the admiral replied. "Hold your positions. Help is coming." The first wave of Phantom ships returned from their attacks and joined Earth's defense. They moved unseen until the moment they fired. Council ships began to explode. Their commanders panicked, unable to track where the attacks were coming from. "This is impossible," a Council captain shouted. "Their technology is primitive." Those were his last words before his ship erupted in flames. In the Council chamber on Nexus, High Speaker Thrix faced angry representatives from dozens of worlds. "You told us humans were contained," a Varian delegate shouted. "Yet they strike everywhere at once." "You said their technology was limited," a Kinteri representative added. "But they move unseen and penetrate our best defenses." Thrix tried to maintain control. "This is a temporary setback. The 3 dominant species will deploy our elite fleets. We will crush this human rebellion." A new voice spoke from the chamber entrance. "I wouldn't count on that." Thrix turned to see Du Hyun walking in, flanked by Jisoo and Sujin. "How dare you enter this chamber?" Thrix demanded. Du Hyun's face was calm, but his eyes were steel. "We come with a message. Humanity," Jisoo continued, "is no longer asking for a place in your council. We're taking it." Sujin finished. 1 month after the human counterattack began, the galaxy had changed. Du Hyun stood on the bridge of the Defiance *, looking at a map of Council space. Many areas now glowed green, showing systems that had broken free. "Admiral, the Varian ambassador is ready to speak with you," his communications officer said. The screen lit up, showing the green-skinned alien who had first helped Jisoo. "Admiral Kim," Ambassador Trell said, "the Varian High Council has voted. We officially join your Freedom Coalition." Do Hyun nodded. We welcome your support, Ambassador. Your ships will strengthen our fleet, and your technology will strengthen ours, Trell replied. For too long, the Council kept us apart, kept us from sharing knowledge. After the call ended, Ji-Su joined Du-hyun on the bridge. That makes 5 species now, she said. The Varine, the Kintari, the Beloth, the Noor, and the Talasi. How are the talks going with the others? Du-hyun asked. Many are still afraid. The Council ruled for thousands of years. Change is scary. Ji-Su looked at the map. But every day, more join us. On Nexus, the Council was in chaos. Representatives argued loudly while High Speaker Thrix tried to maintain order. Our forces are stretched too thin, a military advisor reported. The humans hit too many targets, and now these other rebellions. The 3 ruling species must deploy their elite fleets, Thrix insisted. Crush the humans first. The others will fall in line. The Mechnar representative nodded. Our dreadnoughts are already moving toward Earth. We will show these humans the price of defiance. Back on the Defiance *, alarms suddenly blared. Admiral, we're detecting massive fleet movements, the sensor officer reported. The Mechnar dreadnoughts have left their home system, the Vorax battle cruisers too, and the Zentari war platforms. Do-hyun studied the tactical display. They're combining forces, heading toward Earth. That's over 2,000 ships, his second-in-command said quietly. Even with our phantom technology. We need more allies, Ji-Su said. I'll speak with the undecided species again. While Ji-Su worked on diplomacy, Su-jin led her most daring mission yet. Her small team infiltrated the Council's central data repository on Deneb 4. This is the heart of their network, she told her team. All their secrets are here. They moved silently through the facility, planting devices at key points. What exactly are we doing? A team member asked. Su-jin smiled. We're not just taking their data. We're opening it to everyone. Back on Earth, Dr. Min Ho-yoon made an important discovery in the ancient Mars ruins. Admiral, look at this, he said to Du-hyun over the comlink. The Zenari left plans, weapons that could defeat even the Council's biggest ships. Can we build them? Du-hyun asked. With our new allies' help, yes. These designs are meant to be simple. The Zenari were preparing for a final stand against the Council. As humanity prepared for the coming battle, the Council elite fleets continued their advance. They destroyed 3 human outposts along the way, showing no mercy. Let them see what happens to those who defy us, the Mechnar fleet commander said. On Earth, people watched the massive enemy fleet approach with fear, but also determination. We won't surrender, the world president told her people. We stand with our new allies. We fight for our right to exist. The human fleet gathered near Saturn, joined by ships from their 5 allied species. It was an impressive force, but still much smaller than the approaching Council armée. Do-hyun addressed the combined fleet. We face our greatest challenge, he said. The Council thinks their superior numbers will crush us. They think we will break. They are wrong. He paused, looking at the faces of humans and aliens united in common cause. They pushed us too far. Now they will learn what happens when free people stand together. When we fight not just for survival, but for a future without their control. As the enemy fleet entered the solar system, Su-jin's team activated their devices on Deneb 4. Across the galaxy, the Council's most secret files became public. Thousands of years of lies and manipulation were exposed for all to see. The battle for Earth was about to begin. But the battle for the galaxy's future was already changing. The massive Council fleet entered Earth's solar system like a dark storm. 3,000 warships from the 3 ruling species, the Mechnar, the Vorax, and the Zentari, moved in perfect formation. They will surrender when they see our power, the Mechnar Supreme Commander said from his flagship. But as they passed Jupiter, something strange happened. Their sensors showed nothing ahead. No human fleet, no defense stations, nothing. Where are they hiding? The commander demanded. The answer came suddenly and violently. The human fleet appeared as if from nowhere, emerging from the cover of Saturn's rings. With them were ships from their 5 allied species. Do-hyun stood on the bridge of the Defiance watching as his plan unfolded. All ships, execute attack pattern Phoenix, he ordered. The Freedom Coalition fleet split into small, fast groups. They struck using the Phantom Drive to appear, attack, and vanish before the Council ships could respond. They're too fast, a Council officer shouted. We can't target them. On Earth, Jisoo coordinated the diplomatic side of the battle. As the fighting raged, she broadcast a message to all worlds. Today we fight not just for Earth, but for all free species. The Council's lies are exposed. Their control is breaking. Join us now. Her words reached dozens of worlds where people were watching Soo-jin's leaked files. More rebellions sparked across Council space. More ships joined the Freedom Coalition. But the Council elite fleet was still powerful. They pushed toward Earth, destroying many coalition ships along the way. We're taking heavy losses, Do-hyun's second-in-command reported. It's time for the final plan, Do-hyun said. Signal Dr. Yoon. On Mars, Dr. Minho Yoon activated the ancient Senari weapon he had rebuilt. A pulse of energy shot from the red planet, spreading across the battlefield. Council ships suddenly lost power. Their advanced systems failed. What's happening? The Mechanar commander shouted as his screens went dark. The Zenari weapon had one purpose, to disable the specific technology the Council had used for thousands of years. Now, Do-hyun ordered, all ships attack their command vessels. The Freedom Coalition fleet struck hard. Without their advanced systems, the Council ships were vulnerable. The Mechanar flagship exploded in a ball of fire. The Vorax command ship followed. The Zentari war platforms drifted powerless. After 6 hours of battle, it was over. The Council elite fleet was defeated, half destroyed, half captured. Do-hyun looked at the damage reports with a heavy heart. Many brave people had died today, but Earth was safe. Admiral, Jisoo called from Earth. The Council is asking for terms. They'd want to surrender. 1 week later, Do-hyun, Jisoo, and Soo-jin stood in the Grand Council chamber on Nexus. But it wasn't the same council anymore. Representatives from 32 species, including the 5 from the Freedom Coalition, and many newly liberated worlds, had formed a new governing body. The United Galactic Alliance is born today, Jisoo announced as the new chancellor. All species equal. All voices heard. The 3 ruling species, now stripped of their power, watched from the side. They would face justice for their crimes. Chancellor Park, a Kintari representative asked, what will happen to the old council's technology and knowledge? It will be shared, Jisoo said. No more secrets. No more keeping some worlds in the dark while others advance. After the ceremony, Do-hyun stood by a window, looking at the stars. Thinking about Taiwan? Jisoo asked, joining him. Do-hyun nodded. He would have liked to see this day. His sacrifice made it possible. Soo-jin added, joining them, as did the sacrifice of many others. 6 months later, on Earth, a new monument was unveiled. It honored all who had died fighting for freedom. At its center was a simple message. They pushed us too far. We pushed back harder. Now the galaxy is free. Children from a dozen different species played together in the park surrounding the monument. Scientists from Earth worked with beings from distant worlds, sharing knowledge freely. Do-hyun watched it all with pride. Humanity had not just survived. They had changed the course of galactic history. Was it worth it? A reporter asked him. Do-hyun thought of the friends he had lost. The colonies destroyed. The hard battles fought. Freedom is always worth fighting for, he answered. And now, no species will ever be held back again. As night fell on Earth, Its lights shone brightly against the darkness of space, not as a target anymore, but as a beacon of hope for a new galactic age.